3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Show Me Trucks. Now we're getting on the dash of the 36 GMC. So if you saw the last video, you saw me pull this out of the truck. I've been kind of worried about pulling this out because I knew there's a wood support that rides right in here. That's what your windshield regulator is mounted to. And before I had thought that this brace was part of that, but it's actually just because there's so many holes and cuts in that wood, it's a brace. So I wanted to get this off so I could mess with this regulator and see if I can get it working. And then that shaft runs through this hole, and then I found a grommet that fits. I've been really afraid of pulling this dash off because anytime you pull anything off, you add a bunch of projects, but I ended up having to do it because I couldn't get to that regulator. I want everything to work on this truck, obviously. These supports, bolts with this stupid little tab on it with 2 nails sticking out, and that goes into the wood right here, and that's why it's all broken out. This side is missing more than the other. It's missing the top part, and then this side's a little more complete, but still it's missing the end. But I didn't want to mess up these screws. I was afraid I was gonna like strip out the flathead and it would mess up the look of the dash, which is the most important for me. But those all came out, not too bad. And then I'm gonna redesign this. I don't really like these. I'll probably run those little thread certs that run up into the wood, and then that wood support is gonna be screwed into this side. But it also helps me fix all these supports up in the A-pillar. So if you see, this is what the original style looked like. It was a bigger board and then 2 smaller ones, and it was sandwiched together. And then it has like these flat tabs on the back. And again, I need to remake those. But the hard part is it bends. It comes up and then bends out and then screws up in there. And I was gonna do it in metal, but I'm gonna do it back in wood. And then the wood, I need to go get some wood for that. I know it's all bent, but I'm probably just gonna like take one piece off, slowly make it, and just have it end exactly where the end of this plane ends. And then once it butts up, I'll find a way to attach that inside the cab. So it's not going to be near as fancy as theirs was, because theirs was probably built in a jig and then put in there, and it was probably way easier, and they knew what they were doing. I had read this, but I wasn't totally sure. But for you guys restoring these 36 Chevy trucks or GMCs, I had this extra gauge that I got with a box, and I had switched these over and then realized that I thought just that little center divider was different. But if you look close, I know it's hard to see, but if you look close, it's actually brown and not black on those. So, kind of a downer, but I needed to take that apart anyway because I had to clean the lens, and I switched that lens out with a different one. Well, I'm going to try to show you me breaking this down. So this has a handle, and it rotates a shaft that rotates this shaft. I'm assuming this one is the frozen one. It's the rustiest one. This one has a little bit of movement in it, so I don't think it's that. So what I did is I started to knock this pin out, and it looked like it was pinched in on the end, but it wasn't. So what I did is I put a socket on this end and then hammered it down with a punch. But now she's out. So I obviously am going to clean everything. Whoa! That's got a lot of tension on it. I'll clean everything, grease it when I put it back together. But if I know that this is rotating on this shaft, then that's obviously not frozen. So that's a plus. This has like a little retaining clip. If not, nothing is holding it from falling out. So again, it's not spinning. I'm gonna try to hook up this handle again and see if without the load on it, oh, she froze. These rebuilt at Hershey, I've seen them, I think they're like $350. So if you weren't sure about my budget, it's not $350. Today's a happier day. I let that soak all last night, and now I broke that free. So now it spins. What I was gonna have to do is, I don't know if you can see that, but I was gonna have to like grind the little mushroom tip off of there and then knock this pin out. But I'm happy I didn't have to do that because I don't have a Dremel tool. What I'm gonna do is spin this a ton. I'm gonna put some grease in there whenever I reassemble this, just to make sure all that meshes well. Excited the windshield crank is done. Another tip I'd give you is throw all your parts in a bag. That way you don't lose them, because I'm gonna do some woodworking. And also I put grease on that slider, and there's grease in there, and obviously I don't want sawdust and everything getting in there to just gunk it up all over again. So like I said, this is just a support because there's a notch in here, a notch in there, some of those retaining clips that actually worked on the window regulator. So I'm trying not to touch anything in the middle. If you come out to the sides, you can see they kind of they had two different boards, and that's why they're splitting in there. We're joining those together, and then I'm assuming they had that glued together, and who knows, maybe the glue wasn't bad. But also whenever I broke this loose, things were kind of splitting apart. So I'm trying not to rebuild everything on it. And luckily this side has what I need. It shows me, let me flip this over. It shows me a factory smooth cut. This all butts up to your A-pillars, and this came past. Not even totally sure if I'm gonna bring it past how they did it. I might just have it flush mounted, and then I might make a little angle iron brace for the corner. Again, this is not like, I know it's structural wood, but let's be realistic, this is a tin can truck. So if I get hit, this board is not saving my life or even slowing the car down. If you saw, I was making a template. I'm only gonna make little patches that are this long for each side. I went to the store and bought this oak. It's a hardwood, obviously super expensive. It's a little thinner than I really need. What was on there is 7/8, and this is right under 7/8. even some more crazy stuff. Whenever you cut into that board, hopefully you can see that, but it's actually grooved. So this is made out of, I don't even know how many boards. This part, I don't know if that part's the same or not, but Jesus, how much work did they do to put these together? It does look like oak, smell like oak too. Alright, I'm going to wrap up this video. I was going to paint the wood, but I wanted to get everything fit in place before I painted, just in case I needed to grind on these edges. The next video, I'm making all the wood for up in here. It's going to make me go broke, for sure, because I had to go buy a bunch more wood today. $120 for this much oak. You know, you could always do it better, and you could always do it way worse. Thanks for watching. Later.